how's it going? Wanted to come on here and share this project I've been working on because I think it turned out pretty well. Wanted to share my mistakes and successes and everything in between. Hopefully to help you build your own indoor putting green that you can enjoy in the winter months or just anytime you can't get to the course. It can be pretty low cost materials, low barrier to entry, or it can be pretty premium. I'll try and include options for both. I went somewhere in between and I'm really happy with how it turned out. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so like any project, it'd be a good idea to do some research first. So let's check out putting greens. No. Let's see. Yeah, not bad. These things suck. It's just, I've gotten like 3 of these as gifts and they're always just so low quality. No offense to the gift givers, but I've never come across one of these that I wanted to use every day. Birdie Ball's pretty strong, I'll be honest. Let's check them out. Well, alright, Birdie Ball, putting greens. So, Birdie Ball's fine. It is what it is, but the like half-inch thick depth, and that it's not even like a carpet, it's like a plasticky sort of foam material. I really don't enjoy using it, and the ones that I've used, the corners like raise up, which are why I think they have these weights on the ends. It's just not ideal, at least in my situation, because I rent and we have carpet. I'd love to have hardwood or any sort of flat surface that I could put on, hence why I'm building this. So, Birdie Ball is fine. It is what it is. But, oh my god, I had this one too. Again, none of these lay flat on carpet, and it's just so annoying because the putts go even slower. All these putting mats tend to be on the slower side anyway, but you can't do any effective practice. This thing's kind of cool. I don't really understand it. Oh, okay, it's a combo. So anyway, all of these are trash and we're gonna build a better one for the same price or less, at least less than Birdie Ball, because that's insane. Definitely less than this one too. So I went with this sort of plywood on top of framing 2x4s design. It works pretty well. It stays flat and it rolls true. What I did, mine is 3 foot by 7 foot, which works really well. I have these 7 foot long pieces on the sides, and then just 2 foot and 9 inch pieces in the middle. The thing about dimensional lumber like 2x4s you're going to want to look out for is they're actually 1.5 inches by 3.5 inches. Don't ask me why. This is just how they come, so look out. So we can hop over to Home Depot. Okay, so before looking at anything, it's a pretty good idea to tape off your space, like depending on how much room you have. Just use like painter's tape or even like Scotch tape and mark off the area. And maybe even hit some putts just on the floor, just to make sure you have enough room to stand and swing a putter or even chip if you're looking to do that. Just make sure you have enough space, because I put a nice little dent in my wall. But anyway, we're just gonna look at framing 2x4s. It doesn't have to be anything premium. It really doesn't. Like, there's always the option to get something a little nicer, like a hardwood, but we're really just going. Boom. Okay, there we go. We got a whitewood stud, which is pretty much perfect. I believe it's the same exact one I used. And these are cheap, like cheap. And it's 8 feet long, so we can do a lot with that. We're gonna need I used 4 of these. And I had some waste just because of the dimensions I chose. If you do like an 8 foot by 4 foot putting green, that'd be perfect. Like, you're gonna have very little waste and you're gonna get the most bang for your buck. So we need plywood. 4 foot by 8 foot, not bad. Home Depot can do free cuts on lumber, by the way. I feel like I should mention that. I had pretty much everything cut down to size for me by them. So with plywood, this would work. There might be some bumps. You'd have to go in person and find like a nice flat sheet, but this is your budget option for sure. Beyond that, I believe I went with something more like this guy. At least one side was pretty flat, where I was confident that I was gonna get a good roll. So yeah, let's add the budget one to the cart. We'll look for some glue. Carpet adhesive. And I use this stuff because it doesn't give off as many fumes. I still left the windows open to let it cure for a couple days. But yeah, we don't need 4 gallons. I barely got by with... Okay, so I can't find it at the moment, but I only used a quart, which was less than $10, but I can only find this gallon right now, which if you're doing anything more than... My putting green is 3 by 7 feet, and that was stretching a quart to its max. Like, absolutely. You know what? Let's just call it this one. We'll add that to the cart. We can definitely go more premium, but this is gonna get the job done. Maybe this guy would be a better option, but I use this little one. All right, boom. That's gonna do the job. 1 pound box should be pretty much fine. Okay, here's the exact turf that I used, and they have every measurement under the sun available. It's pretty nice. I did so much research on putting turf to make sure that I got something worthwhile. And this stuff's good. It rolls true, it's high quality, it's easy to trim back. And I even got like almost a foot longer than I needed. Like it came in like 3 feet by 8 feet, which was nice because I could trim it back to size. And I just used kitchen scissors or something for that. Like it's super easy to trim. And yeah, assuming you own a drill already, this is pretty much it. Looking at just over 100 for a more budget build. And I would urge you to make the turf the most expensive part of the build. It's just, it's what you're going to be putting on. And if you just wanted to make one that's flat to the floor, if you don't want to cut a hole or anything like that, then you can go even cheaper than this. That is not a golf hole. Boom, there we go. Okay, so I did a lot of research on golf holes, and you really don't even need one. You can just make it a flat surface and mark off a hole, but I wanted a hole and a flag for some reason, so this is the set I went with. I figured out that it's 4 inches tall, which works really well with 2x4s, along with the plywood, because it's just over 4 inches, the total depth, without the carpet coming into the equation. So it starts to feel like a real golf hole. And what I did to cut the hole, so a golf hole is 4 1/4 inches. So I now and bought this guy. Actually, I bought this one with the guide bit included, which is pretty hefty. I went back and forth a long time about whether or not to buy this. There might have been a place I could rent it, but I ended up just buying it myself because who knows if I'm going to build another one of these someday. I figured it'd be good to have. And it was going to make the best result, which is what I was really going for at the end of the day. But this is going to be your premium option for sure. And there's cheaper ways to do it. Like you could mark it off in pencil. You could use a jigsaw. You could use just regular drill bits in a circle and then sand down the edges until it's smooth. This is gonna be your perfectionist option, for lack of a better word. And you're definitely gonna want something to put underneath of what you're cutting through, just because this guide bit goes about another inch deeper. So like spare plywood or something solid, and it'll keep the wood from tearing out when the bit comes through the wood, because that's always something to look out for. There's probably a better way to do this, but I used mine straight through the plywood and then through the carpet with the glue and all. I figured it would give the best result, and it worked out really well. Like this hole is just dry fit. I didn't have to use any glue or anything, and it holds really well. And it's just below the surface, which is pretty good. And yeah, as far as putting the whole thing together, I just used these crossbars every 12 to 16 inches, and then just put 2 screws in each side of those, which has been really secure. And then 2 right by the hole just to keep that a little tighter in place. I think the kit I bought for the hole is meant to be dug outside, so the flag leans a little bit to one side. But other than that, it's pretty much perfect. It's held up well. My cat likes to scratch it, because if you have a cat, you know they scratch everything in sight, but it's really strong. And it rolls true, most importantly, which was really my main concern through this whole project. Like, every decision was made considering that. So with that in mind, this was a huge success. I really enjoy using it. So I hope this helps if you're shopping for a putting green and can't find anything that you like, like I couldn't. And feel free to hit me up if you have any questions about the build. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.